else. Ready, focus, be here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's real estate?
Great.
How great is it? Give yourselves a round of applause this morning for investing in yourself. So I want to start with setting our mindset. So let's hear a message from our friend Darren Hardy regarding that. Listen.
Hello, my name is Michelle Hoagland, and I am the owner and director of social media and partner management here at Top Hat Creative Marketing. Every morning, Monday through Friday, I start my day out with a workout. I read a little, write in my journal, not every day, but I try. And while I'm getting ready, I listen to that morning's Darren Daily. Really kickstarts my day and gets things going for me. So one of my favorites is making the right choice. The key lesson for that is to choose the harder path. Do the things that are difficult, the things that you don't want to do, that you know are going to increase your business. Make that difficult sales call. Reach out to those people that you know you want to work with, and just stop being afraid.
In the compound effect, I explain how the results in your life are rooted in one single factor: your choices. Like it or not, good or bad, your accumulated choices have added up to your current waistline, your business success, your relationship intimacy, and your bank balance. Your choices created your problems, and the only way out of them is to start making new choices and sticking to them. But then you ask, well, how do I know what are the right choices? Here's a simple formula. When in doubt, choose the harder task, or whatever you don't want to do. That's usually exactly what you should do. Take the path of most resistance. Put it this way. If you are disappointed in any area of your life, whatever choices you've been making obviously aren't working. And we all know what the definition of insanity is: continuing to do the same things that you've always done and expecting different results. So here's the force you're fighting. You and your brain are creatures of habit. You simply talk yourself into taking the easy, low resistance, and comfortable route. Like the pool of a rushing river, your unconscious habits continue to take you downstream in the wrong direction. To change your direction, you will need to swim upstream against the resistance of the rushing river, against your habitual tendency. These are non-resistant activities, things that go with the flow of the river: going along with gossip, surrendering to peer pressure, saying yes to needless obligations, submitting to the crying demands of your children, starting your new program on Monday instead of today, reacting in anger, holding a grudge, giving the silent treatment. These are high resistance activities: having to swim against your current, going to the gym when you don't feel like it, forgiving someone who wronged you, feeling the fear and doing it anyway, admitting that you were wrong and apologizing, ordering the salad when you want the burger, saying no to yet another shot of tequila, calling that big, scary, big prospect again and again. If you want to finally obtain what's missing from your life, you need to stop always doing what you feel like doing and start doing the things that make you uncomfortable. The stuff you avoid and the things you think are hard are exactly probably the things that you need to do. If you dedicate yourself to only doing the things that you don't want to do all day long, your results would shock and amaze you and everybody else around you. So make a list of those things that you avoid, postpone, or hate doing, because you should probably be doing. If you attack those things today, your life will change. What's uncomfortable is good. It only feels wrong at the start because you have an automatic bias towards the easy. Fight that tendency. Swim upstream. Take the path of most resistance. Declare it and take action. What 3 things do you not want to do, but you will commit to doing today? Tell us in the comments below.
What it's meant to me is that, yes, I need to stop being afraid. I need to do the things that I avoid. I need to stop doing the busy work that's not making me money and start doing the sales calls, the hard stuff that will make me money and will make me successful. That's the whole point of owning your own business, right? So how I've used the idea is we have started implementing a client acquisition process here at Top Hat Creative Marketing, and which is where we reach out and make those hard sell calls. We reach out to those people that we really, really want to work with as far as strategic partners, and we're just putting our feet to the ground and making it happen. Picking up the phone, making those calls, doing the things that we know we need to do, and reaching out to the people that we know need our help so that we can really create a stellar online presence for them. So the difference, the result of all of this, for us, with especially this year and daily, making the right choice, is that my confidence is up. We've been getting new clients left and right. We've really been building our business. And the number one thing for me is I've been taking that leap of faith of doing things that I've been afraid of in the past. Number one being a video like this. Probably wouldn't have done something like this within the last year if I hadn't been really working on my confidence level and doing the hard stuff. So I'm really willing to take the leap. And I want to thank Darren Hart for that. I've loved the past 3 years. I've listened to the Darren Dailies, and I'm looking forward to many more. So thank you, Darren.
Good stuff. Awesome. So there's a reason, obviously, why I picked that video, and I wanted to ask ourselves, to ask yourself today, what is your harder task? I love the way she put it at the end. She said, choose the harder task versus busy work. So let's get through both. What's harder task? What's busy work? Give me busy work. That's easy. That's low-hanging fruit. What's busy work? Yes, Laura.
Paperwork, just files, you're cleaning your desk.
Paperwork, files, cleaning your desk. Sometimes you actually think that if you don't do the transaction coordination on your file, that the file is going to fall out. Guys, protect your heart. Protect your heart. The file doesn't need you. The people are either going to buy or they're not going to buy. They're either going to sell or they're not going to sell. And sometimes you getting in there creates more problems than it does solutions. That's why that is best delegated to somebody else con una cabeza fría that does not have the emotion of the moment. Detach yourself from that. It's interesting that just most recently I helped my son buy a new car. And I love watching the new car sales process. I love that, right? Out comes the shark, Mr. Cool. Wants to close you, boom, boom, get you all emotionally excited, etc., etc. The minute that you decide to move forward, what does he or she do?
Disappear.
Boom! Passes you on to somebody else. They call that what? Finance. Go in and see finance. Now, does the salesperson ever sit down during the finance process?
No.
While they're explaining to you that you have the extended coverage this, and the option that, and the... No! Why? That's not their job. What's their job? Selling. Go out and close somebody else. Put them into the pipeline, leave them at finance, walk away. Go see somebody else. Only in the event that it falls apart in the hands of finance do they send over the big dog and then the other bigger dog, and then finally they send back the cool person, the one that you had rapport with, the one that gave you a 35-cent can of 7-Up. And because of that, now you have to buy a $50,000 car. Those kind of things. You understand what I'm saying? See, that's you. That's you. We can say, know what your role is. Your role is not doing paperwork and processing the file and things like that. Because guess what? Protect your heart. There may be somebody else that's much better at that than you. But what are you good at? You're good at being the rainmaker. You're good at being the closer. Okay? Busy work. What else is busy work? Give me busy work. What else is busy work?
Passing out flyers, cold calling?
No. Those are... thank you for sharing that. No, that is most definitely not busy work. Those are real things that make you uncomfortable. Let it be clear that those kind of things are the things that put you outside your comfort zone. Oh my goodness, knocking on a door. I told you the story. I door knocked my first day in real estate. I was at Century 21, Dollar Realty, came out super excited, stack of flyers under my arm, went to drove out in my ugly Ford Fairmont, and I parked right there on Corcoran Street. And I parked on Corcoran Street and I knocked on the first door, second door, third door. Third door was there, and it was one of those screens that you can't see in, they can only see out. And I heard the door open. Yes. I could tell that it was an elderly lady, just by her accent. And I said, hi, my name is Jerry Asensio, and I'm with Century 21 Dollar Realty. We're right over there on Maclay, and we have the best of service, and I got and I went through my whole spiel and uninterrupted. I said, man, I got this lady. She's hooked. She is hooked. I got her. Would you like to whatever my action thing was at the end? Ma'am? Ma'am! She had closed the door on me. I was speaking to a closed door all along. I couldn't hear it. The darn door only squeaked on the way open. It didn't squeak on the way closed. Guys, that will put you outside your comfort zone. I went up and wanted to crumble into a little fetal position and jumped in my car and sat there and thought, I don't like real estate. And I went back over to my office right there on Truman and went back to the trustworthy little snack box that they had there and gained another 1.5 pounds. It was not a good day for Jerry Asensio in real estate because these things make you uncomfortable. But in the same week, I went back again. Knocked on the house on the corner of Desmond and Dronfield. I remember as if it were yesterday. Desmond and Dronfield. 12901 Desmond, something like that. Knocked on the door, whoo! The door swang open and this huge, he looked as huge as a mountain. Huge African-American man looking at me like this with big giant nostrils. He was pissed. What you want? Holy smokes, what the heck do I say here? I said, hi, I'm Jerry Asensio, Century 21 Dollar Realty. Gave my whole spiel. Anyway, are you thinking about buying or selling the house? Yeah, we want to sell the house. Get in here. Holy Moses. Took my very first listing. Get that around. Things that are outside your comfort zone. The guy was bigger than the sofa. His name was Woodrow Crenshaw. I'll never forget it. Woodrow Crenshaw. Married to, was then they got divorced. Was married to Barbara Crenshaw. Scariest couple I ever seen in my life, And I had all kinds of questions, no answers. Fast forward on that, I'll just tell you a little bit of the rest of that story. When I went there for the listing presentation, I asked my manager, Al Reyna. God bless Al Reyna. Nice guy, terrible manager, but nice guy. And I said, Al, I'm going to go to a listing presentation. What do I need? He said, you need a listing presentation book. Well, where do I get that? Just, go here to Century 21 has a Centurion meeting at the Odyssey. They happen to have it this week. Go there and pick one up. Great. So I went there, picked one up, and it was this little plastic thing with some little flip pages. So I just kept it in this little cellophane wrapper until I arrived to the listing presentation. And then when I arrived there, I said, by the way, this guy looks a little intimidating. He looks like really mean. There's like a lot of hate around him, which ended up being true because it was a domestic violence, happening divorce, lots of physical violence. It was bad. It was really bad. You could feel the negative vibe when you walked into the house. So I got there and I took the little thing out of the cellophane wrapper and I said, hey, but I have you here, right, Al? Oh, yeah. And so I get there, boom, boom, knock on the door with my cellophane wrapped, recently removed, had my listing presentation, had a one property profile, a set of comps, and then the dot, how those printers, back then it was ACT colon, no CDM colon, you guys remember that? PAC colon, okay, you guys, that times you. It was called a terminal. It wasn't a computer, it was a terminal that would dial through dial tone. G9, comma, and it would dial the board. And then these little letters would come out here, and you'd put in all your little things, and then you'd get your little comps right there. And it was a little sheet like this of that kind of fax paper, the kind that it goes over one line by one line. So I got there with that, and I said, hey, Mr. Crenshaw, anyway, this is my manager, Al Reyna. And Al went like and he turned around and said, Jerry, you got this, you got this. I got this. What the hell are you talking about? I've never done a listening presentation in my life. We are century 21, and I started opening up the book and just winging it from there. Took the listing. That was my very first closed escrow. But it put me in a very uncomfortable position. But what did we just hear from Darren Hardy right now? Uncomfortable is good. Uncomfortable is good. Rosie.
Well, when you say that, you just got to get out of the comfort zone and move forward. Someone slams the door and you raise your head up, chin up, and go to the next person. That's what you did. You follow your heart, and you do your needs, and you do all your stuff, and the door knock, and you do the first listing, and
But listen to what Rosie said. Keep your chin up, keep moving, keep forward, keep knocking. Well, that's not what I did. I felt crumbled my very first day. So I went back to my fetal position inside my car and said, oh my goodness, this is terrible. I felt sorry for myself. But later that week, I got the guts to come back again, and I got the listing.
I think everybody does fall in that scenario, because it's just, if you're in sales, I've been working since I was 14 years old in sales. And I was taught by my parents that you work for your things are not going to be handed to you easily. And don't let anyone ever put you down. If they do, or pull you, put your chin up, and just walk forward. You guys know what I'm done.
It's funny that you mentioned that. There was a lot of hate in that house. But see, that hate was not toward me. Actually, Woodrow Crenshaw needed me because they needed to sell the house. They were in foreclosure. And if Jerry wouldn't have knocked on that door, he would have been one more statistic of somebody that during a nasty separation, divorce, domestic violence, whatever, what have you, is no longer and lost their house to foreclosure. So they need you more than you think. They need you more than you think. Even if it's uncomfortable for you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, those are the busy work. Now tell me about the other things. He said you need to swim upstream. You need to do what is difficult and different. What is that for you? What is difficult for you? Don't talk to me. Don't preach to me about me. Tell me about you. What's difficult for you? What's difficult for you? Corina. Door knocking is difficult for Corina. Okay? Federico.
Same thing. I'm afraid of dogs.
You're afraid of dogs, yeah. Okay, got it. Got it. Adriana.
Same thing, door knocking.
Okay. And maybe door knocking is not the only alternative. There's cold calling. There's other things that you can do. There's flyer dropping. There are open houses. There are other activities. But know what those difficult things are. And find a way to work around it. Work with a partner. Walk with somebody. Walk with somebody that has one of those little pepper sprays from the mailman to spray the dog. Walk with somebody that carries a big stick. Whatever, Let's find a solution around it. Steve, what's difficult for you? Answering your calls? Oh, no, sorry. That was from back here. Offering too much. Allowing your mouth to overextend, overcarry, overload your back. That's difficult. For me, it's difficult to say no. That's what he means. We're very much alike, Steve. For me, it's difficult to say no. I don't like saying no. I like saying yes. I'm a yes kind of guy. You ask me for something, I'll try to do it. I'll try to squeeze it in no matter what. Even if it's overloading my back. And you've seen that happen, Steve. Difficult for me is saying, I'm sorry, but no, I can't. That's hard for me. That's hard. What's hard? Milagritos. Yes. Making calls. Making calls. Fear of rejection. Fear of the do not call list. Fear of the $10,000 fine that no one that I know has ever gotten, ever, in the history of ever. You can find a million ways to justify and rationalize your fear. But basically, it's just fear. It's what it is. Diana, what are you afraid of? I mean, what is uncomfortable for you?
I could do door knocking, but
Door knocking in the wrong house. Right. So door knocking in the wrong house, being just pulled in there, your security, your safety, that's an issue. That's an issue. But let me either scare you to death or put that in perspective. It can happen anywhere. It happens in the most inconspicuous of places. Of course, you want to be cautious, right? Knock on the door, take 2 steps back, etc., etc. Assess the situation. Be cautious, be alert. Tell your other door knocking partner where you are. Signal from over there. All that kind of stuff. Think about it. Yes, Ramona.
And beware of a door, I mean,
Yeah.
bridges and stuff like that, those can get close.
Right. Even at an open house, keep the door open. Don't lock the door behind you when the prospect is in there with you. Keep the door fully open. They'll try to close it. No. Leave it open. It's open house. Open house. Open the door. Yes. Hector.
Curiosity, at our house we have no soliciting, beware of dogs, don't even look this way, cameras are looking at you, all this other stuff, and still, with all due respect, not just disrespect, but respectfully so, Jehovah's Witnesses still come.
Hey, they're on a mission. They know why they're there. I'm sure at the beginning it was uncomfortable for them. And it doesn't matter what you're selling. A spot in your house of worship, the Lord's work, whatever you're doing, you're selling something. You're always selling people on something. Which selling is nothing more than introducing and convincing people and inviting them to participate in your thing, whatever that is. Don Carlos, what's difficult for you? What is difficult for you, sir?
Knock the first door.
Knocking the first door. Because once you go past the first door, by the way, picking up the first set of weights, by the way, running the first lap, by the way, walking around the first block, by the way, setting down the first hamburger and making the right choice. That's why he said, the accumulated choices that you've done are what represents everything that you have today, from your waistline to your bank statement. Everything is the accumulation of your choices. Does that make sense? Let's learn today, he said at the end, what are the 3 things? Usually it only amounts to 3. 3 things that you should do, that you don't want to do, that you feel is difficult to do, that you find resistance in doing, that's uncomfortable for you, but that will impact your business to the greatest degree. And that's what you have to answer for yourselves. We're not going to have time to hear everyone's answer. But what 3 things? What 3 things? What 3 things? I'll tell you one thing that I'm doing now is together with Lucy is helping me track all my birthdays that are in my database. So that if it's in the morning, she looks at my Facebook and sees there are 10 people whose birthday it is today. I look at that list, glance at it, and if there are people that are VIPs, that I actually know who they are, I have almost 4,000 friends or something like that on Facebook, but if this is 1 out of 4,000 that I know who they actually are, then I will make a comment, because they want to hear from me. If not, then Lucy does a generic happy birthday, etc., etc. Or if I'm plowing through the day, I'm not going to have time, she'll just do generic for all. She's also checking my top producer, because my top producer is reminding me who is in my database, in top producer, whose birthday it is today. So that it's up to me to reach out to them. And sometimes that's the most difficult thing. Now, Jerry, why would it be so difficult to call somebody and say happy birthday? Because of what I expect sometimes their answer to be, Jerry? Jerry? Oh my goodness, I haven't heard from you in 10, 15 years. That has happened. That has happened. And that's what I'm fearful of. Que me reclamen. Because I'm going to feel bad that I didn't call them for 10 years. I'm not scared que me van a regañar. They're not my boss. What are they going to do to me? Don't worry about it. But I'm afraid to let them down. I'm afraid of what they're going to say. What is it? I'm embarrassed. It makes it, again, uncomfortable. What is it for you? What are the 3 things that you need to do that will take your business to the next level? Good stuff. Oh my goodness, he's back. Oh no. Okay, Laura, remind me where was the clause on this?
It was,
What's the clause called? Just, I'll take it from there.
I don't remember.
Okay, great. So, it was not this, it was not that, it was not that. Go to the next
It
page.
was on the top 3rd page, I think.
Title insurance.
The closing not on time penalty.
Go forward again. One more. Well, this was one of them. So the reason I'm showing you this by Strategic Realty, anybody done a deal with Strategic Realty? Okay. It doesn't matter what realty company this is. What matters is there are companies that put together their version of the 3 or 4 page addendum. Okay, this is a great area of concern. Because in this 4 or 3 page addendum, they can slip in what?
Anything.
Pretty much anything. What is your responsibility? Your responsibility as a San Fernando Realty Mission Real Estate Associate is to read that addendum line by line, paragraph by paragraph. And then, once you've identified which are the 1 or 2 clauses, which I just asked Laura right now, hopefully she'll remember, that are the ones that are the worrisome. Maria, come on, where are you, Maria? I saw you come in here. Come over here, please. We need your energy. Which are the ones that worry you? Those are the ones that you would have me check. What you do not do is, hi, Jerry, here's a 4 page addendum. Any concerns? Because I'm going to say, well, have you read it? Do you have any concerns? And then I'm going to ask you questions to make sure that you did read it. Because it's not my job to read the 4 page addendum. It is your job. And for your job to identify what are the areas of concern that your broker needs to see. For example, here, buyers and sellers have agreed to close by a specific date. If that date is not specified, number of days, blah, blah, blah. If escrow is not closed by that agreed upon date, and both parties agree to extend the escrow period time, buyer agrees to credit seller $100 a day, but there's a cap. There's a cap, don't worry. $100 a day up to $1 million.
Whoa.
And $200 a day up to $2 million. And then $300 per day up to $3 million until the escrow is closed. If you could see the look of disbelief on your face.
Where are they located?
Where are they located? Well, they're in California. That's all that we matter. You know, if they're in California, they're doing business in California. But guys, the moral of the story is you got to read the 4 page addendum. Up to $3 million? Are you kidding? Is this a joke?
The house is not even.
Right. So what it means, so let me explain what that means. What that means is that you put, $20,000 in there between one thing and another, and maybe you won't lose it to the 3% arbitration, mediation, and
Liquidated?
The
The liquidated damages?
it will come to me later. Thank you, Rosie. It will not liquidated damages. Maybe you won't lose the $20,000 because of liquidated damages. The house is only $400,000. 400 times 3 is $12,000. Out of the $20,000, only $12,000 is at risk for liquidated damages. But you sign this, and now what's your max? $1, $2, or $3 million. So how long will it take for you to eat away at $20,000 that you have in escrow? Pretty much you're not going to get it back. The minute that you go past close of escrow, it starts eating away at $100, $200, or $300 a day, which we call the per diem. And they've snuck it in to a 4-page addendum. Got to be careful with that, guys. Got to be real careful with that. And it's not about strategic realty. I'm not talking them down. It's whomever. It can be, ABC Realty. You have to read the addendum. Yes. Of course it's legal. Is it legal? Yes, it's legal. You agree to it. You don't have to agree to it if you don't want to. One of the tricky parts is, listen very carefully to what I'm going to say. They'll counter you, and in the counter you see those little lines where you add the addendums, and they'll add strategic realty 4-page addendum. Problem is, you don't know what it says. You look at the counter, you sign off on the counter. What have you just agreed to? $2-3 million, blah, blah, blah. So before you sign the counter, you need to say, wait a minute, you're including an addendum. Can I get a copy of it? Oh, it's just a standard. No. No such thing as standard. I need to read that addendum line by line, paragraph by paragraph. And then you need to identify which of these paragraphs I need to read. Because I certainly don't need to read all of them. Just the ones that are of concern. Yes, Laura?
I think the other one was the contingency removal.
Let's go back to the contingency removal. Let's see here, the contingency removal. Here it is. In the purchase agreement, there exist certain contingencies along with some time periods. Buyers agree to remove the contingencies as outlined in the agreement. In the event that all I remember now. In the contingencies that all contingencies are not removed and we get to the close of escrow, the buyer has the right to the final walkthrough, blah, blah, blah. Then guess what? All contingencies are wiped out by way of the close of escrow. That one, according to what originally Laura had called to my attention, she read it and understood it as a passive removal of contingencies. But then I explained to Laura, no, that's not actually what it says, Laura. What it says is that if there are 5 contingencies and you take 3 out during the escrow time, and now you're at day of close of escrow, can you not close escrow because there are 2 contingencies still open? No, you can still close escrow, and the close of escrow is deemed the removal of those last 2. That's actually what that means. So that one's not as bad as the $2 and $3 million one. Okay? Juanita?
How would you explain the buyer that addendum?
What part of it?
The part that the $1 million.
I would say you are automatically committing to, after 45 days, the 46th day moving forward. If they agree to give you an extension, which they haven't agreed, it's going to cost you to the tune of $100 a day with no limit. All the way up to the $20,000 that you have in escrow. Are you willing to do that? Yes, no. If you don't like that clause, we can counter it out. They can either accept or reject your countered 4-page addendum. You can agree to everything on the addendum except that. What would you like to do? Do you want to roll the dice? Ramona, then Lydia.
Yes, I was going to say, remember, they haven't given you that 4-page, they haven't presented to you, they said it was there. So actually, before signing the contract, they want to sign it, it's asked with that addendum.
Right, which we covered. If they mention the addendum, but they don't give you the addendum, don't sign it until you see the addendum. And until you read the addendum, you guys, not Sandra, not me, not anyone from my team, you. Lydia.
What purpose would you use to counter them back and take that out of the contract?
I would just say, in regards to strategic realty's addendum, go to that page again. Page number 4 of 4, close of escrow, to be deleted in its entirety. Just make it clear that it doesn't apply. Yes.
Jerry, I was going to say too, also, these kind of forms is what you definitely got to get your lender involved and let them know exactly the seriously of how serious this is as well.
Right. We recently had a transaction that went south, and it went south in a big way. And the lender was very involved, and the lender had every reason to believe that everything was fine. As a matter of fact, they were already at loan docs.
Wow.
What nobody knew is that the co-signer had not made his payment on his credit card for 3 months. And so at loan docs, It took a nosedive, went down, and we lost the deal. They kept the deposit. There were damages. Lots of people got hurt because nobody would ever guess that the co-signer would stop making the payments. Be careful. It's not over until it's over. And even that, we asked the lender. It was the lender that said, yes, remove all contingencies. We're good to go. The lender had no reason to believe that there was anything wrong. He can't read minds. He can't look into the crystal ball and guess that somebody has not made their payments. But that's what happened. And since the loan contingency was removed, did we have an option to cancel because of that? No, because the loan contingency is removed. Okay. Last questions. Yes, Rosie.
Talking about the lending side,
Yes.
it does happen because we've done like scenarios where we tell them not to, when they're like in the middle of getting loaned
Next
on, don't go buy a brand new car, don't go out there and go shopping, stay where you're at. And there's people, what people do, they open a credit card or they do something and they purchase, or sometimes they don't even pay, and that's in your scenario.
Right.
And that's the worst thing they can do.
Gotcha.
That's
Gotcha.
Contingency is very important for you guys to read as well too.
But listen to what I did. I asked the lender, Mr. Lender, are you sure that we're ready to remove the loan contingency? That's a big, risky, bold move. Okay, so he has to claim ownership around that, and so does the buyer. It was the buyer's fault at the end of the day. It was the buyer's co-signer's fault. But who is that? That's the buyer. There's only lender, agent, buyer, seller. It wasn't any of the other party's fault. It was the buyer's fault. Bundled into that cosign. We have Stephen, then we have Juanita, I believe. And then Sam.
Broker from strategic who put that whole package, the whole thing together.
Right.
He's going to size up the other agent real quick when they sign that over.
Yeah. Because 9 times out of 10, they don't even read it. That's the sad part, guys. You're getting paid a $12,000, $15,000 commission, and you don't want to take the time to read a 4-page addendum? Hello? Who was next? I think it was Juanita. Yes, Juanita, go.
Yeah, in your situation where you remove the contingency, I mean, things like this will give us like a red flag to the lenders, and they could possibly run the credit again to see if that lender, I mean, if any of the.
See, could you have run the credit again? I don't know. That's a lender question. I don't know. Maybe it would have been a good idea to ask, hey, have you guys made your payments? I don't know. There's no, we're all geniuses and have 20/20 vision, you know. But that's not what happened, you know. There's the answer. They don't run credit unless it's expired. And no one's going to assume that nobody has made their payments. That's where the danger is. I think I had Sandra and then Ramona. Sandra.
Ya, una pregunta con el addendum. Si se contradice con la oferta, por ejemplo, si fuera un FHA
Oh, okay, got it.
y te dicen que se remueve el appraisal,
Right.
¿qué prevalece?
Well, but you threw a monkey wrench when you said FHA. But so let me answer it 2 ways. Other than an FHA, a mandatory clause, which is federal, cannot be overridden, and you cannot waive it, and you cannot, superimpose it. Other than that, everything else, it would probably be this document that would govern, because it came after the offer and after the counter. So this would superimpose the others. Other than FHA, VA, government-backed, because you can't. On that one, you just can't. It doesn't matter what you put there, you can't. You can't override an FHA, VA mandatory clause. That's federal mandate. Yes, I think we have a question here, then I'll go to you. Then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
Even if we, yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I have to apologize to the lenders, but I have my vendor check before going back. And it has happened a lot of situations like car, change jobs, et cetera, so I'm sorry, the lenders.
So let me put perspective on that. Ramona demands that the lender check it at the end. It's not up to Ramona. It's up to the lender. They're the ones that know whether you're on a FICO score that's hanging on the edge, and one more hit may put the person below where now they don't qualify. That's number one. And then number two, remember that you only have 21 days for loan contingency. But we're discovering this on day 45. So something can happen between the day 21 and day 45. There's still no guarantee. There's no way you're going to be able to dot every I, cross every T. There's just no way. There's just some inherent risk when you buy real estate. There's some inherent risk. Lydia, last question.
With the Senator's question about the FHA, what does the FHA clause about the appraisal have to do with the per diem?
Right, no, I don't think that was her question. Her question was, if this 4-page addendum says you're going to pay the difference if the appraisal doesn't come in, blah, 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 you can't override that.
Yes, it does.
Not this particular one. Oh, this one does?
It does say.
Okay, go to appraisal then. Well, that's fine. This one did.
Yes.
But even if it does, you can't. Because it's federally mandated. You can't. But this particular one did say you're going to pay for the difference in appraised value. That points out my point today, which is the fact that you need to read the addendum. Okay, got that? Read the addendum, read the addendum, read the addendum. Don't send a 4-page addendum to Jerry without notes. Don't! I'm not going to read it. That's the lazy way. You send it with notes, with things highlighted, things circled, little stars, comments, questions, submarks, then I'll read it. Do your part, then I'll do mine. Okay. Right. The reason why this is San Fernando Realty, multiple offers that Jerry has on the listing on 4 Palms, but I just wanted to show you this. I wanted to show you at Pinnacle Estate Properties, transaction coordination fee by this particular agent to be paid by buyer is how much?
Wow, 975.
Okay. I don't need to say anything else. Guys, your office charges $295 for the transaction fee, not the transaction coordination. That's different. That's over there with Sandra. They're charging $975, Pinnacle. Okay, so just know that. When people say, why should I buy it from you, Federico? Well, first off, if you go to Pinnacle, they're going to slap you with almost $1,000 of junk fee. With us, it's $295. Got it?
Kelly Williams has $700 transaction fee.
So it's negotiable, actually. And it's even negotiable here. Not everyone at San Fernando Realty charges $295. Let me make you aware of that. But don't worry about that. Only worry about you. You charge $295. The rest is not your business. How much do you charge? That's the only conversation that should be coming out of you. Well, somebody else charges something different. That's not you. It's the same as you wanting to take a 4% listing. Somebody else wants to take a 7% listing. That's their problem. You charge 4, they charge 7. But you can use that as a selling point, is the point. Okay? Awesome. Okay, Jerry, you have the stage. Good stuff. Yay!
Yeah.
Oh. A little shocked.
So, I've heard some of you guys talk about the Home Seekers app. I don't use the Home Seekers app. I've tried using it. So there's different apps now that the MLS offers. One of them is MLS Touch. Another one is Home Seekers. And then the one that I personally use is called CRMLS. So CRMLS, it's cool because it's basically the MLS on your phone. So let's click this, for example. So this is the app. Has agent roster, my listings. So if I click on my listings, it gives a map of, hold on, let it load. No, I have listings. It's just taking time. Let me see. Okay. Well, it would show all your listings on the map. It'll show closed listings on the map. Which is pretty cool. Contacts. Yeah. Basically, right here you can see Launch Matrix Desktop. So this would take you to the actual MLS on your Safari. Showtime, that's the part of the app that now they send you the showing requests. It has a mortgage calculator, and the one that I like the best is called the Share My App. So Share My App is where you, in essence, can share this app with your clients for them to look at properties. So if they're looking on Zillow, Trulia, obviously there's a bunch of other agents' information on there. But when you share my app, this is what it does. So it's to share my app, to share your branded app. When you share your app, make it easy for others to message you. They'll see your name, photo, properties, front and center, right? So you could press send text message, and okay, send to anyone, blah blah blah. Let's send it to Carmen. Carmen Solis, sent. So I actually sent it to her before, that's why it's twice. But that means it's sent now. And what it sends her, I'll show you guys right now. Carmen, can I get your phone, please?
Oh, your list is just me.
Oh, yeah. Are you sure? No, I don't know if those are my listings. Probably not. Filter? Yeah, it's not my listings. Okay, so now let me go into Carmen's phone. Homes nearby that are for sale, yeah. Stop mirroring. Unable to connect to Apple's view. Give me 1 second. Two, 6, 7. Give me a second. Yeah, it is, but it's weird. Really? Yeah. No, I can't send it to myself because I have the app. Give me 1 second. I'll work right now. Here, let me see.
Carmen, what's up with this pirated phone that you have? Come on. That's what happens when you buy it at the San Fernando swapping. One of those shady vendors.
Okay, well, what happens is it sends them a text message. It says Jerry Sencio Jr. This is Jerry Sencio Jr. with Mission Real Estate. Check out CRMLS HomeSpot Seeker, blah blah blah. Download the HomeSpot app here. So you click on it, you download it, and then when you download the app, it basically will send you a message in the app now that says, I'm not loading, that's what it says. Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay, it says, welcome Carmen Solis. It looks like Jerry Sensi Jr. just shared this app with you. How nice of them. HomeSpotter wants to help you find the perfect home. You can directly message your agent or anyone else you invite, plus much more. First is your number, 818201, and you put a little check box, and then it asks you, great, is your name Carmen Solis? Either no, I need to update it, or yes, so you click the little thumbs up. It says, great, last question, are you an agent, or do you want to sign into your MLS? No, I'm not an agent. So, no, I'm not an agent. Home spotters would like to send you stuff, blah, 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 get started. So basically, they're going to be able to search homes on this. It's branded to me. So when you have yours signed in, so you guys can't see that in the back, but every listing that they look at, it has my phone number, it has my information, and it's basically like you having your own app. So
Do they need to create a password?
it didn't make me create a password right now, so no. But you could see their search. So if I go into mine and I look at my clients, it tells me what they've been searching, what they've been doing. They can message me directly through the app. They could favorite some. They could, put the little heart so that they like it. And, everything here, they could look, filter, search results, look for properties only in San Fernando. For example, there's, properties that are currently on open house. And every property that they go to says your agent, Jerry Sensia Jr., Mission Real Estate, send a message with phone number and everything. So it's pretty straightforward. Basically, what you have to do is download the app, this app, the CR MLS app, and then log in with your MLS credentials. And once you do that, you'll be able to share your app, and it'll have it branded to you. It's very simple. So CRMLS, download it, and you can share it, and your clients can use it. So, am I available to help you guys? Lucy will help you guys. I'll show Lucy exactly how to do it, and
Lucy knows the keywords.
Yeah, she's put it in the front.
at the board. Yeah, they have classes at the board where they teach you step by step, very meticulously. At the end of the day, the most important feature is that it's branded to you and they don't see anybody else, because some clients are not very loyal and they'll, they see somebody else, oh, this is a listing agent, let me call them. So on this, it only has your information, and at the bottom it says featured by Hector Camino Casillas or featured by Steve Opus, Yes. Apple and Android. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Good stuff. So, what is your homework on that? Number 1, download the app. Number 2, get your spouse, significant other, or friend, or family member on it, so that you can see through their eyes what they're looking at. Then you'll know how to explain it. Okay? So get someone in your sphere to do it before you send it out to the buyers. Because if not, the buyer's going to ask you something, you're not going to know the answer. It's going to be very uncomfortable. Make sense? Okay, very good. Yes. Oh, my goodness. There's something behind me. San Fernando Realty welcomes Adriana Ramirez. All right, Adriana, come on up here. You are the next contestant for The Price is Right. Come on up. Do the long walk. The long walk. Adriana is now joining us from Pinnacle. Yeah. Okay, got tired of that 975, so there she is. So I'll let her introduce herself, and here's your new San Fernando Realty family.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Adriana, as you can see, and I just, want to get to know everybody and, work hard like everyone here. Okay, I'm happy to join San Fernando Realty. Thank you.
Welcome, Adriana. All right, awesome. You want to come up here, Rebecca? Well, Rebecca, thank you. Adriana, welcome to the family. Thank you. Love to have you here. Thank you very much for making the right choice.
Yes.
We love it when an associate comes over, and it'll be an upgrade. What she was experimenting over there. Every company is great. Every company has great things about it. I don't like talking bad about any company, but she can do more business here at $295 per transaction than at $975. That's for sure. Okay, Rebecca. Let's hear it for Rebecca.
Good morning, everybody. Couple of announcements. One really good one. The first one, I'm going to start off with the 3-page addendum. I don't know if you're familiar with our SFR 3-page addendum. We usually disperse it with our escrow package. That way it's easier for you. You get that in, that's part of your disclosures actually. It's not necessarily an escrow form, but we do it as a courtesy, and also because there's a number item there that says that San Fernando Realty Inc. and San Fernando Realty Escrow are basically related, that we're under the same business license. We are actually no longer going to be dispersing that with our escrow package. And the reason is I have a lot of pushback from other brokers that say, what do you have to do with, the landfills and retrofitting, and this is a disclosure. My client's not going to pay $295 since that fee is also disclosed there. So we're going back and forth, and a lot of the times I often have to waive it. So now we're not going to be dispersing that, so that will be something you have to disperse with your disclosure package when you send that over to the seller. And of course, if you represent the buyer. But that's mainly when we do the escrow. Our second announcement has to do with a competition. How many of you are ready to kind of get The month started in September, yes? So we had a managers meeting and we decided to kind of do something to pump you guys up for the last quarter. So beginning September 1st through November 30th, we're going to have a very similar to the blue versus red competition, except you guys are all in competition with each other. There's no teams, and it's the same point system. For every sale that you get, that you open escrow in these next 90 days, you will get 5 points. For every listing you will get 10 points. And obviously when that turns into a sale, that's another 5 points. If you bring the escrow to San Fernando Realty Escrow, where you represent the buyer, you will get 20 points. Yeah, that's good. Aside from the 20 points and the opportunity to be entered into this raffle, you will also be getting your open house signs when you bring over the escrow, so don't forget that. So the prizes are first place, whatever team or person, agent gets the most points is going to get 2 Disneyland tickets with $100 to be used towards spending at Disneyland. And then second place will also be getting Disneyland tickets, 2 tickets each, first and second. No spending money, but that's okay. We still want you to go have fun at the happiest place on earth. So I really hope that you guys can, do whatever. You can reach out to any of us. Obviously, Lucy and Sandra and Olivia and Carmen, everybody's here to help you get any flyers out, do open houses. So we really hope that we can close the year strong. As you know, the calendar year for San Fernando Realty ends November 30th. That's an opportunity for everybody to get added into our year in celebration when we give out all of our awards. So that's why it's ending November 30th. And last, we do have breakfast for you guys, so I hope nobody's on a diet this morning. Thank you.
Awesome! Thank you, Rebecca. Anyway, that's going to be fun. More than anything else, it's going to be fun. Can you buy your own 2 tickets to Disneyland? Of course you can. It's not what it's about. What it's about is the bragging rights to say that you came in first, came in second. So it's motivating. So far, I see Armando, Lydia, and Asensio team up on the board. Those 3 things, 2 sales and 1 listing, are the ones that count toward the new contest. Everything else from before they erase the board, it's water under the bridge. Okay?
Did we take a picture of the board for the race?
We did. We have a record of every single, and last month you guys did phenomenal, which is where I'm about to go. But before I go there, I just want to say a couple of things. I thank Pilar for coming over and being a listener today. Thank you. Welcome. We have Pamela Barrios that's visiting us today. Let's welcome her. Listen up. If this is something that you want to be a part of, we can definitely talk about that. Do what is difficult. Last but not least, floor time. Clarification. Who can sit on floor time? So the people that can sit on floor time are licensed agents. So assistants cannot sit on floor time. Referral partners cannot sit on floor time. Licensed agents. Now why? Very simple. Just to say the price on a house, you need a California real estate license. Just to say the price. And what's the first thing the buyer's going to say? How much is the house on Foothill? And how can you say that without saying that? So no floor time other than licensed agents. Licensed agents are the ones on floor time. Okay? So if a non-licensed person goes up there, puts themselves on floor time, you will notice that they're going to get skipped because it goes to the licensed agent. Okay? Then if you put your name again, you'll probably get a call from me. Hey, thank you for your enthusiasm, but you can't be on floor time because we don't know who it is. It could be a BRE, a secret investigator on the other side. Who knows? Yeah. Anywhere. You're not supposed to talk terms. And talking terms is sales price, down payment, deposit. You cannot talk terms. You need to have a California real estate license. If you do not have a California real estate license, you need to keep your... Okay? Get you in trouble. Get you in lots of trouble. And it'll get whomever you're working with in trouble. Partner or whatever, referral partner, you'll get them in trouble too. Steve, you want to come up here and say something before we wrap up? Because we have Steve Oquist. All right, awesome.
Good morning, thank you. Real quick, our timing's coming up. Please work on your database to get that put together, and I'm pushing. And that goes back to the meeting. if I'm I want to do the best way to not say no and be there for everybody. So just text me, schedule a time, and then I'll do 20 minutes. And if you need to talk to me, just send me a text, and then I'll make sure that I meet you after so that I don't get interrupted while I'm trying to help out the people I'm with. And the picnic's coming up the 23rd. Looking forward to it, and my little family's coming down. And we're going to be playing volleyball and octoball. Thank you.
Awesome. By the way, that's Steve right here in this picture playing octoball. So, okay, that's me right there doing the grilling. So, it's going to be fun. The RSVP sheet is going around. Bring your family and just have a good time. Nothing fancy. It's a picnic. It's a picnic, guys. It's a picnic. Okay.
Jerry, I got like 40 tickets.
Oh, awesome. Well, then get some business cards up here. Get some business cards. We're going to wrap up as the business cards come up here. Let's put those business cards. Thank you, Hector. Here's a scratcher. Oh, my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $2 Set for Life scratchers. Put your business cards in a little basket, courtesy of Mr. Hector Camino Casillas. Nice. Thank you, Hector. And let me tell you who's in first, second, and third while you get your business cards in there. Fourth place with one listing, Corina, Maria Dominguez, Juanita, Hector, Angie, Gino, and Martin. Congratulations. Third place with two listings, two-way tie between Federico Cabral and Tanya. Congratulations. Second place, a two-way tie between Team Asensio with 3 listings, as well as Lydia. Congratulations. First place with 4 listings, a two-way tie between Armando and the Salazar Group. Congratulations. See, that's the way it is, guys. You need a tie. You tie, that means that the love is being spread around. Everybody's doing business. Beautiful. Fifth place with 700. Fifth place is 710,000. You're at the right office. 710,000. Fifth place, Hector Camino Casillas. Congratulations. Fourth place, 845,000. Maria and Juanita. Congratulations to the twins. Third place, over $1 million. $1,015,000. And part-time, Lorena Rivera. Congratulations, Lorenita. Awesome. Second place, 1,281,000. Angie and Gino. Congratulations, Angie and Gino. And first place with 2,799,000. Salazar Group. Congratulations. Oh, Lorena, we just recognized you. Again, third place with 1,015,000. Lorena Rivera. Everyone else, we already did it. Ready? We need an innocent hand. Who has... Your hand is innocent, Carmen? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, here's the first one. Here's the first one from Carmen's innocent hand. And the winner is Jerry Asensio Jr. Come on up here, Jerry. Second one. Did you feel the rounded edges and you gave it to Jerry? I'm just kidding. Second one is Corina Corner. Señora Corina, come on up here. You get a scratcher, Corina. So if you have an itch, there you go. There's your scratcher, okay? Third one. And the winner is Suli Salazar. Come on up here, Suli. You are a winner, Suli. And, oh no, there are 2 more. Next one, come on up here, Suli. You're a winner. Next one is Juanita Valenzuela. Come on up here. Here you go, Suli. Congratulations. Juanita Valenzuela. And one last one, Lydia Rodriguez. Congratulations, Lydia. Come on up here, Lydia. And while Juanita and Lydia come up here and get this, give me a drum roll. Salazar, Karina, Tanya, Jerry, Junior, Martin, Federico, Angie, Gino, Tim Asensio, Salazar, Maria Dominguez, Juanita, Armando, Lydia, Salazar Group, Tim Asensio, Angie, Gino, Maria Dominguez, Juanita, Hector, Salazar Group, Rosa, Lorena, Tanya, Silvia, Fernando Perez, Salazar Group, Tanya, Federico, Lydia, Tim Asensio, Angie, Gino, Hector, Maria Dominguez, Juanita, Maria, Armando, Lorena, Silvia, Fernando Perez, Angie, Gino, Tim Asensio, Tanya, Salazar Group, Armando, Tim Asensio, Lydia, Angie, Gino, Maria, Juanita, Rita, Maria Dominguez, Juanita, Salazar Group, Armando, Tanya, Lydia, Angie, Gino, Team Asensio, and Salazar Group. Congratulations. Happy birthdays in September on the 2nd to Diana Velasquez, on September 8th to Adriana Ramirez that just joined our team. On September 9th, to Maricela Rubalcaba, here present today. On September 10th, to Carla Moreira, our weekend receptionist. And on September 20th, to Olivia Chavez. All right! No caravan, you guys are dismissed. If you see a bunch of hoopla and us doing a bunch